This is a male Cryolophosaurus. At the moment, he is bringing his mate some branches to cover her nest with. He should probably just leave the nest making to her. A bigger Cryolophosaurus with a larger crest approaches. The female, mating rights, the territory. He wants it all. This larger male is going to fight the smaller male to see who is alpha dinosaur. The larger male has won the prize. Now he continues with his carnage by eating the eggs of the previous male. This act may seem cruel, but in a world after death's entrance, this is necessary to ensure that the strongest and baddest Cryolophosaurus survive. A better male also means a better nesting site. Dinosaurs roamed every part of the globe. Of course, when they were here, the world didn't look quite like this. The pre-flood world was all one continent, called Rodinia. And on that continent, the range of dinosaurs stretched almost from pole to pole. How did they survive the frigid cold temperatures of, let's say, Alaska? Well, Alaska wasn't anything like the Alaska we know. Alaska as we know it didn't exist. These northern lands weren't the cold, barren wastelands of today. Instead, they were well-watered and full of dense forests. Snow and below freezing temperatures were rare. In these peaceful forests lie weird and wonderful beasts. This strange-looking animal is called a hadrosaur, or duck-billed dinosaur. They are common in northern North America at this time. A full-grown hadrosaur can stretch as long as a bus and weigh 4 tons. Here, up in the north, they spend their time feasting on the lush plant life. The ceratopsians are one of the feistier dinosaurs that live in these forests. The ceratopsians group of dinosaurs contains the more familiar Triceratops found further south. Despite the peaceful look of these forests, we must remember a common rule in the world of nature after the fall of man. Where there are herbivores, there are carnivores. Famous predators, such as the great and mighty Tyrannosaurs, aren't common in these parts. Instead, they're roamed by fierce predators that only come out at night. For the most part, anyway. Dinosaurs didn't only live in what would become Alaska. They also lived at the other end of the world, Antarctica. Strange amphibians, such as Cryolophosaurus, swim in the rivers. Other strange and wonderful creatures live here too, but they are still alive and well today. Creatures such as this weta, a giant flightless cricket, and the tuatara lived in Antarctica at the time. In the 21st century, these animals will still persist, clinging on to what will be the islands of New Zealand. Here in these forests is a different breed of dinosaurs than those found living near the North Pole. We've met this male Cryolophosaurus before. After winning the fight we saw him win earlier, he's checking out his new territory. Cryolophosaurus may look similar to other theropods, other than that wacky headgear, but it was designed to thrive in the environment in which it lived. For one thing, its teeth are sharp and serrated, perfect for slashing through a prey item, whatever it may be. This individual is a full 6.5 meters long and weighs around 1,030 pounds. It isn't the largest of the carnivorous dinosaurs, but it's very voracious. Scientists once thought that places such as the now frigid continent of Antarctica were too cold for dinosaurs. But what they didn't know is that it wasn't as cold as it is today. In fact, it wasn't until they discovered fossils of dinosaurs that they discovered the truth. In 1991, scientists found the fossils of Cryolophosaurus, and with it, the remains of fossilized trees. The name Cryolophosaurus means frozen crest lizard due to the fact that it's lived in Antarctica and has that strange-looking crest on its head. It's no wonder that it's been nicknamed the Allosaurus, after Elvis Presley. We now know that Antarctica only got cold when it drifted south during the global flood of Noah's time. Creatures such as Cryolophosaurus were dangerous predators, but they weren't the only creatures in the forest that are worth avoiding. Some of the most terrible of creatures in this forest are also some of the smallest, as this lizard is about to find out. Night comes around fast up here in the Arctic, and it is now when the most terrible Arctic dinosaurs come out to stalk their prey. Enter Troodon foramus. Troodon are the real deal up this far north. These creatures are very common across the United States, but what makes these Arctic Troodon so different from all others is their size. Instead of growing a mere 6 feet long and 3 feet tall, these Troodon can grow 12 feet long and 6 feet tall, almost twice as big. The reason being that down south, there are more of the larger predators, such as the Tyrannosaurs and the Carnotaurus. However, this far north, Carnosaurs and Tyrannosaurs are not common. So the Troodon took on the role of apex predator and became larger. Hadrosaurs sleep with their young in the middle of the herd, so the wily Troodon creates a chorus of noises that help to cause commotion in the herd and expose the vulnerable young. This baby hadrosaur makes the fatal mistake of running out of the herd's protection, and this is exactly what our Troodon want. But help is at hand. An adult bull hadrosaur comes to the baby's rescue. Tonight is another perfect example of just how dangerous Planet of the Dinosaurs can be. Along the river's edge is a pair of Glacialisaurus. These 25-foot long, 5-ton behemoths are similar in many ways to the great sauropods, such as Brachiosaurus and Apatosaurus. While they may not be as large, the similarities between Glacialisaurus and the sauropods are hard to miss. Glacialisaurus normally live in small gregarious herds with an alpha male and a variety of females and their young. Once the young males get to be a certain age, they are forced out of the herd to find a harem of their own. But that doesn't stop this younger male from trying. This male has never had a herd after leaving the herd of his birth, and decides to try persuading a female to start a herd of his own. What a bummer. The alpha male will have none of this and sends the intruder on his way. However, an intruder is the least of the alpha's worries. The scent of a predator is in the air. A Polar Allosaur. This is an old male, and he's hungry. Unexpectedly, something in the air will easily stop this hunt from taking place. The only problem with being by the river is that the river is often home to swarms
of biting flies, better known as mosquitoes. Even though the dinosaurs are covered in tough, scaly skin that keeps most of the insects from biting, they do have softer parts, such as the insides of the ears and nostrils. These tiny insects can drive their gigantic hosts wild, and soon both species decide it's time to leave the river. Not far away lies a burrow hidden in the undergrowth. Troodon is a hardy little burrower, about a foot long, the size of a rat. In many ways, it does look a bit like a rodent, or some other type of mammal, but it's neither. This animal is indeed a reptile. Troodon has many mammalian characteristics, however, such as the fact that its legs are kept right underneath its body and not sprawling out like a lizard's. And it might even have hair. But no matter how mammalian this creature is, it is not related to them at all. After entering the burrow, we will learn why this creature is classified as a reptile. The male Troodon's mate is pregnant with eggs, whereas most mammals give birth to live young. The bond between Troodon pairs is incredibly strong. They pair for life. When their eggs hatch, they will be utterly dependent on their parents for food and protection during their first few weeks of life.
The female Cryolophosaurus is very protective of what will become her nest, so even her new mate has to be inspected before entering the nesting area. He dips his head in a form of submission. Tomorrow, it will be a new day to explore the new territory. On Planet of the Dinosaurs, South America was connected to Antarctica. On the continent of South America lied a vicious killer called Carnotaurus. Carnotaurus was an Allosaurus. These dinosaurs specialized in hunting large but slow prey. Most other carnivorous dinosaurs have rather long jaws, but Allosaurids have comparatively short jaws. Even still, Carnotaurus was thought to be the top predator of the region where it lived, until bite marks on the bones of a close relative were found. What creature could have possibly taken on an adult Carnotaurus? A mother Carnotaurus and her children are walking across a plain, searching for food. This is a bull Carnotaurus, and he wants the carcass for himself. This fight was more than just a simple fight over a carcass. No, it goes deeper than that. Carnotaurus is a cannibal. As the only animal in the region that can bring down a full-grown Carnotaurus is another Carnotaurus. Scientists had long predicted dinosaurs could be cannibalistic, but without any proof, they couldn't be sure. In 1996, strange Abilosaurid fossils were uncovered in Madagascar. At the time, scientists were unsure of what animal caused the deep gouges they saw in the bones. A few years later, scientists looked at a variety of different Madagascan animals' teeth to see which one caused these gouges. The only one that fit was another Abilosaurid. So we know now that, at least on occasion, Abilosaurids, such as Carnotaurus, would eat other Abilosaurids. In the forests of Antarctica, morning breaks. After much patience, the Polar Allosaur has managed to bring down an old Glacialisaurus. Although there's enough meat here for more than 20 Allosaurs, it is unlikely that our male Cryolophosaurus will be welcomed. In the end, it is the loudest roar that wins. The Polar Allosaur is a close relative of the larger Allosaurus found further north. While not nearly as big, the Polar Allosaur is still a ferocious predator for its size. Nearby, the lone male Glacialisaurus we met earlier is walking alone in the forest. There is a reason why dinosaurs often travel in groups. Carnivores like to pick on stragglers. Our male Cryolophosaurus is hungry for big game. The biting flies have returned. Elsewhere in the forest, the pair of Glacialisaurus we met by the riverbank is feeding. So much for her great protector. This is the same Glacialisaurus we witnessed fall into the mud pit. as inconvenient as it might have been, the mud actually acts a lot like a type of bug spray, repelling the annoying insects. Meet the Glacialisaurus' new mate. Whether hunting prey, avoiding becoming prey, trying to protect your young, or just trying to get a mate, it's easy to see that God created the dinosaurs for life in the tropical poles. The tropical poles will continue to thrive for another 600 years before the flood of Noah's time. After that, all these unique dinosaurs will disappear from the face of the earth. Next time, we head to the plains of Colorado to see how a close relative of the Polar Allosaur, Allosaurus, manages to stay alive in a world where changes can come quite unexpectedly. We'll also learn about the largest animals ever to walk the earth, and that when you're a dinosaur, it's a big world after all.